We're going to talk about how to properly sharpen your chef knife. It's been thought that this object is a knife sharpener. This is actually a honer. It goes by the name of a steel or honer and is meant for fine-tuning already semi-sharp knives. This won't help you out very much if you have a very dull knife. It's not coarse enough. By coarse, I mean that it's too smooth. The light ridges that are meant to file down the metal are not deep. They're very thin for just honing and making a semi-sharp knife sharp. If the knife is dull, we need to go to a more coarse stone. We like to use here at the ICTC a tri-stone that has 3 different courses of gray. And they're labeled coarse, medium, and fine. What we want to do is we want to start on the coarse grade. There are 2 different ways that you could situate the tri-stone when sharpening. I'll show you the way that seems to be easier for most people. We want to have the stone going left to right, straight in front of us. We also want to make sure it's fastened to the table so it's not sliding around. I have a damp paper towel under my cutting board, which is keeping everything very well fastened. Before sharpening, we want to talk about the mineral oil that wants to be used with the stones. It's the type of oil that best lubricates these stones for sharpening. So we want to get the correct angle with our blade. I can teach you very easy. Putting a knife straight down on top of the stone creates a 90-degree angle. If we cut that in half, we have 45. Cut it in half again, and that's where we want to be, right around the 22-degree mark. The blade should be flat, flush against the stone at all times. We can help that to stay in place by putting our fingers right here on the blade. Now we can take the knife back and forth, counting how many times we take it across the stone. 1, 2, 3. So that was 10. The reason that we need to keep count is so that we can apply the same number on the opposite side. 90, 45, 22, 1, 2, 3. If your knife is very dull, you'll want to repeat this several times. This knife is not, so we're going to continue. Rotate to the medium. And at this point, you may wipe your blade off to remove any loose filings or stone that came off of the sharpening block. So again, 90 degrees, 45 degrees, 22 degrees. You want to make sure that your tip to heel is coming across the stone. If you're just doing one of these, you're exposing some part of the blade that is not touching the stone. It will not sharpen. Now, it is at this point where the steel comes into place. Now it's time for the honer. And if you sharpen your knife every week, the honer's all you will need to use every day you come in and pick up your knife. It won't dull enough over one day of use if it's sharp. So you don't need to use the tri-stone every day, maybe once a week. But every day you can come in and just hone up your knife a little bit to make up for the dullness you might have added from doing some knife work the previous day. About the same angle, 22 degrees, a little bit less, 90, 45, 22. You could hold it straight down. This is a little safer. I recommend this for beginners. The blade's facing down. Start with the heel at the top. Draw it back towards you so that the tip meets the bottom. If you're comfortable with a steel and a knife, hold it out, flick your wrist, and again, with a paper towel or cloth, you'll want to wipe the blade as filings will be coming off, and you don't want to serve that to anyone. I'll show you the second way, the more advanced way of sharpening a knife. You're going to have the stone coming towards you. You will use the same degree, 45, 95, 45, 22. And you'll pretend that you're rocking or chopping with the knife, but from a side angle. Start with the tip at the bottom in the center and draw it up until it hits the center of the top of the stone. Keeping your fingers on top of the blade to push down and make sure that the entire length of the edge is on the stone at all times. Sharpening the chef knife.